Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So I'm in a very different place today. I thought I would start filming the progress on my new studio. I should have started it a long time ago. So I'm just going to start it now and then you can see the progress of where I'm going to be working from next. So this is it was actually our shed in the bottom of our garden. It's a very posh shed. My other half is a carpenter, so this was like his sort of like workshoppy room. Anyway, then he expanded his business loads, so he's actually got a massive workshop somewhere else. So this became just like a dumping ground of all our stuff, garden stuff, you know how it is. So we've had a massive sort out and a massive clear out, and now I've got this whole space. So I'll give you a little quick tour in a minute. But what he's done so far is it was just a shed, so he's insulated it and boarded all the walls. We haven't insulated the ceiling yet, mainly because we're on a very tight time scale, but we will do that eventually, but we can do that afterwards. And we've sanded down the floor and then stained the floor black. I say we, I mean he did all that. And then my mum and dad have been here painting. It still needs another coat on the walls, but it was basically just all wood panelled when the insulation went up, and now it's painted white just to make it as bright and airy in here as possible. So yeah, let me show you around. I'm gonna show you sort of like my rough idea of where I want to put everything, but I'm not quite sure yet. Okay, so there's some lovely big windows in the front. Sorry, ignore my tripod there, which is nice. And then essentially I've just got this whole space to play with. It's got some nice, the beams will be painted and then there's going to be insulation in between the beams. This side of the room, so that's the door, that side of the room, we're going to have some shed storage because we still need to put some stuff in here. So I'm going to have like a really thin, narrow shelving units over there to like store all our shed stuff. So it'll probably come to like, I don't know, there-ish of like stuff. And then I'm going to put a curtain up maybe in future so that I don't have to look at it. And then I have the rest of the room to play with really. I've actually got quite a lot of stuff that I've got to fit in here. And you'll know if you've been following for a while that I've moved studios and premises like quite a lot over the past like 10, 12 years. And the sewing school was definitely the most space I've ever had. And now having to downsize back into a smaller unit or like a smaller space is probably the hardest part. I've got rid of so much stuff and organised it so much at the unit to bring it here. But I am still a little bit worried. But because all the light is coming from here, I'm hoping to have like table workspace over there, big cutting table in the middle of the room. And then I can sort of film over there with all the natural light. The best thing is that it's south facing behind the shed. So I will get like decent light in here, but it won't be like really sunbeamy in all day. I say it's not directly south. The sun comes around there. So by the afternoon, by midday, it's sort of like the sun's over there. I don't know what direction that is, but anyway, I won't have the sun beaming in through the windows all day, which is quite nice because then I don't get harsh sunlight. So I'm hoping maybe big cutting in the middle, sort of my sewing tables and stuff somewhere in the light there, shelving units at the back maybe, and then all the storage for all the stock along this long back wall. That's my idea anyway. It could all change. So yeah, that's all I wanted to show you for now. Obviously it's still being painted. Mum and Dad are coming again this afternoon to do the final coat. So then it's just we need to finish off the electrical bits and then move some furniture in. And I think I'm just going to do like main bulk pieces of furniture like tables, chairs, things like that. And then I can start moving all the other stuff in. And then eventually, once I've sold off quite a few bits and pieces that I'm not going to stock anymore, I'll have a little bit more space, but we will see. So I'm going to add to this video when we do the next stage. So I'll see you then. Well, I'm in the shed. I was meant to do lots more filming yesterday of us bringing all the stuff in and, you know, more time lapses of all the busyness. But it decided to be the stormiest, wettest day ever, and we had like torrential rain, thunder and lightning, and it was all a little bit stressful, like the cars arriving, us like backing it up and then offloading and running in and out, and we were all absolutely drenched. So everything in here luckily is drying off now, but luckily we packed everything in plastic boxes, but it was a little bit like, oh, for God's sake. But this is what has happened now. This is what happens when you move from a giant industrial unit to a tiny little garden studio. So essentially I've got tons of stuff, not enough room, and I'm now a little bit lost as to where to start. So I definitely need to organise the stock and then like supplies. So that's what I thought I'd come in here and do a little bit of, or just like try and make sense of it a little bit, because essentially I'm just a little bit overwhelmed at the moment. But I thought I'd just show you where we're at. Okay, so I've put some sewing tables there. That's where I'm hopefully going to sew, and then I'm going to get like a little backdrop to go behind me so that when I'm filming you don't have to look at all of that. So I put my cutting table in the middle, as you saw Mum and I do the other day, and then there's just a wall of boxes. Like I've got my mannequins there. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. I've got a shelf from IKEA that I've had in the house for ages. It's not being used, and I'm going to put that behind the cutting table so there's less, it's quite narrow, so it means I can still get around the cutting table, and that's going to have all the fabric bolts on, so that's fine. Like I've got sort of something in my head organised, and I have got another table that I thought I'd put along here, so I've just got a bit more like workspace, but obviously I need to move all of this. Yeah. Okay, so we're in the shed. I've got to this stage. I've actually cleared half of the table, so at least I can measure fabric out when I get orders, which the other day was an absolute nightmare. My thread stand is in the corner. That looks okay. And then that is what I'm dealing with. Boxes, samples, stock, supplies. That is all the shed stuff. The lawnmower is still there. Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed by everything, but sorry, that's my dog sniffing around. Yeah, I just need to get cracking and organise it, and I basically need to get everything out of that corner and make actual piles of like, these are supplies, this is stock, this is blah blah blah, so that everything's a bit easier to find until I get some proper storage in here, because I still don't know what I really want. Luna, can you shush please? Sniffy sniffy. So yeah, and this is meant to be my sewing area. There's tables there and chairs. Never mind, it will get there eventually. Okay, so it doesn't look like I've actually done that much, but it took quite a while. I brought this table down from inside, and so I've made like an L-shaped table space now, which has got more workspace, so I'm happy with that. It looks even messier now, to be honest. And then I sorted out the piles of boxes in the corner so that I knew which ones were like stock, which ones were like my own supplies, craft supplies, things like that. And then I piled up like my fabric scraps and stuff there just so I could have easy access to them. And there's more pattern stock that side and felt, and yeah, so I'm gonna leave it for today because I've got so many other jobs to be doing. And then hopefully when I get some more time I can come back in here and do like another chunk of work. Fingers crossed anyway. Woo. Hello everybody and welcome back. So I'm in the shed, the studio, the she shed, whatever you want to call it. I've done like a little bit more than last time you saw it. Basically I've got my boards and my cork boards and my like order writing whiteboard thing on the wall. I've got some racking that I can hang my slot my fabrics into. But it's still an absolute mess. So I'm still not working from here. I'm still working in our spare room until this place is a little bit tidier. But I feel like if I crack on today and I sort of like make a big wedge in the organisational side of it, then I'll probably move everything down here and then I'll start working in here more because I really want to. So yeah, I'm just going to show you what I've done since you last saw it, and then I'm going to do some tidying. So there's going to be some time-lapse little me running around. So yeah, let me just give you a quick tour. Okay, so I've just got my clock and another little board there. Cork board. This board I'm going to put my like scissors and stuff because I'm going to be working underneath here. So that's going to be my sort of like reaching one. I've got my cork board for my like mood. It's like I need like a mood board. I'm one of those people that I like to have sort of like inspiration next to me, and I always get inspiration from really random things, not just sewing things. So I'm excited to like decorate that because I used to love that in the sewing school. This is my little whiteboard where I just like write little things that I'm supposed to be doing and like keep track of my orders and stuff like that. And then I've got two big pegboards over there that I'm going to hang a lot of stock from just to make it easier to like grab stuff. Because obviously most things are all like still in boxes, which is fine. I've got all of that to sort through as well. But I just want to like grab things easily, and then it's really easy to keep track of everything. I don't know where I'm going to put my mannequins yet, so they're sort of like just dumped in the middle of the room. This is actually the racking that was in here before for my other half's wood store. Because he's a carpenter, so he used to store loads of like timber and stuff in here. So I just asked him if I could reuse it and put it closer together, and then I can put my fabric bolts and rolls. And I've got the big rolls underneath my cutting table currently, but at least I could put like the bolts there, and then I can sort of see what I've got in stock. And yeah, and I've lost one. I have no idea where it is, but I'm hoping that it will turn up soon, and then I can put some stuff on the top too. But yeah, that is an issue. That is all the shed crap that has to stay in here. I'm going to put a curtain across here. I've actually got this here is actually the massive wall art from the sewing school, you know, the one with the big hands. I'll put a picture up here just in case you don't know what that is. So I'm hoping that I might be able to make that smaller and then repurpose it as like a big curtain to go across here. So yeah, that is the current. There's my big table. I've moved my other table down here. This was like a spare table that I used to take to market, and it like folds up. But it's a really nice steady table, and then I could put my other two little ones here. So I've got sort of like a big ironing area, which I love. And I'm going to put my overlocker here and then my sewing machine here. So yeah, right, I better crack on. Right, I better crack on because Mum's taken my little one out and I've only got about an hour and a bit left until they return. So I've done all my paperwork and admin, and now I can come in here and do a little bit of blitzing. So let's go. Okay, I mean, I've literally not even made a dent in the stock, but at least I've got a little bit of neatness going on here, and I've got half of the fabrics on there. Didn't really think about how much space they actually take up, so I need some more racking. But that's one job done for today. So I'm gonna probably leave this here now and end the video as like a part 1, and then I'm gonna do another nice video. I'm not gonna do any more like behind the scenes stuff because you're probably all gonna get really bored of me just organising this space. But what I will do is once it's all done and finished, I'll do like a really nice tour of the studio when it's all neat and tidy. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and comment below if you want to tell me something. If you found a different way of organising that I might find useful, then please let me know. And I will see you again for another video very, very soon. Happy handmade, everyone!